Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come all over you. I think that's the word. Shit, I might have blown that.
Let's talk Devils and Islanders, let's talk Penguins and Rangers, but let's not talk about Flyers, cause they're a bunch of fucks, which no one can deny,
Episode 115 of the Friends and Rivals podcast coming at you live and hot. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Harkness. Joining me each week are
Steven Wojtowicz.
Just back from the unemployment office, Bill Fougere.
Nick Loretta.
Oh, poor Billy.
Oh, poor Billy.
Poor
Billy.
Oh, poor.
No more Phillips.
Poor Billy with his 6 months of severance, and poor Billy.
That's pretty good.
It's more than 6 months, actually.
You got more than 6 months?
What?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
He was there 34 years.
Well, 34 weeks is what I got. 34
Oh, my
weeks,
God.
Actually,
Holy
that's
shit,
good
man.
math.
Wow.
That's good math.
Wowzers.
You can't knock this smile off my face with a sledgehammer right now.
No, I don't blame you.
Can we
Not having to
try?
work with those people and getting paid for it? My God. Everybody's fucking dream. Well, for the first time since October, none of our teams are playing hockey.
Boo.
Oh, wow.
Steve's Devils were eliminated by the Carolina Hurricanes last week. So, Steve, the floor is yours.
So, yep, defeated 4-1 in the series. Game 5 was very competitive. It went to overtime. Overall, I wish the series was more competitive. I wish the games were more like that. I think even if they lost the series 4-1, but played 5 very competitive games, it would have been, I don't want to say much more refreshing, but it would have been an easier pill to swallow than seeing them get just utterly destroyed 3 times. They did put a hurting on Carolina in one game, so that was nice to see. But they weren't even supposed to be here, so overall the season is definitely beyond expectations. So we flip the page and turn to 2023, 2024, and I look forward to the offseason and seeing what kind of changes they make.
And boy, this could be shaping up to be a far different Devils team than what we saw this year, as more than half of the roster is either unrestricted or restricted. Who are the top restricted free agents that you think the Devils need to sign next year?
So
for next year,
RFAs, definitely Meyer. I would absolutely love to see Kevin Ball come back. I would like to see Mikey McLeod come back. Outside of that, there's word on the Twitterverse that Rat is going to be used in some sort of a deal, maybe to get a number 1 goalie.
Yeah, I saw the Connor Hellebuck.
Hellebuck, yeah, his name is out there the most. I mean, I don't know how much sense it makes to trade him for a Hellebuck, considering you're going to have to throw in more, and Hellebuck's an unrestricted free agent after next season. But with a goalie, I feel like this team definitely could have handled Carolina. I feel like once Carolina got up big in a couple of the games, the team just kind of imploded and shifted focused and pressed a little bit too hard. And maybe with, Hellebuck, who's a perennial top 3 goalie, they stay more competitive in those games.
You bring up Timo Meier. I mean, that is a really interesting name for the Devils next year. He has a $10 million
qualifying offer, but they could sign him for less.
Is he going to take less? Why would he take less?
Because you get the term then. It's
right,
1 year at $10 million.
After the playoff that he had, what type of contract do you even look at?
I could see him getting 8.5, 9. So
you
give up $1 million next year to get 8.5 or 9 for 6 more years. Kind of makes sense in the long run, right? It's a no-brainer. Bill, check my math.
It does. However,
Good math.
as Nick mentioned, he's going to make more than Jack Hughes. Then you think
I
that's
think
gonna,
at some point somebody's got to make more than Jack Hughes. I mean,
but
Dougie Hamilton
in the-
already. Dougie Hamilton makes more than Jack Hughes.
Yeah, no, listen, I got that, but man,
Salaries go up as years go on, and now that Hughes contract is signed almost 2 years ago.
I'm just really leery of giving a guy who came to my team and didn't do anything in the regular season and in the postseason.
He led the team in goals from when he came to the team to the end of the season.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
9 goals in
Wow.
21
And
games.
no, he didn't put up the stats, definitely not in the Rangers series, especially,
Wow.
but he was very effective in the Rangers series.
That's really shocking to me. I mean, I don't watch as many Devils games as you, obviously, but I honestly wouldn't have guessed that.
I just feel like the qualifying offer is, then you're letting him go to unrestricted free agency. Where if you let him do that, somebody's going to overpay him even more.
Maybe that's what he wants.
Nah, I think he would take less with guaranteed years.
Yeah, one guy from breakup day that was a little odd to me was Tomas Tatar. He didn't meet the media. He didn't know he was supposed to hang around,
And that's
quote unquote. Come on,
it's not like he's a veteran or anything.
right?
Don't be silly.
He's probably not back next year.
Probably not back. And I feel like there's guys, quite honestly, that come up from Utica and take his spot and do just as well. There's, Graham Clark, there's Chase Stillman, there's Nolan Foote. And I feel like Holtz can jump in and replace Bratt's spot. So I feel like there are people to take spots of the UFAs even that are leaving now. Eric Holla said he wants back. He wants to come back.
Want him back.
He feels like this is family, and I could see him taking a team-friendly deal. And quite frankly, I could see the other 3 UFAs going: Miles Wood, Ryan Graves, and Damon Severson. Severson, if he signs a team-friendly deal, maybe he comes back. I don't necessarily want to see the other 2 back.
Well, Severson's what he's destined for Minnesota, right? I think we all agreed on
But that was the word. I could see him going to Edmonton.
Sure.
He's a Western Canada guy.
And even though Ryan Graves had a I guess a subpar by Devil fans playoffs year,
Terrible.
He'll get overpaid by somebody.
Yeah, and I'll happily wave him out the door.
Well, and it's not like you don't have anybody to replace them, right? You have Luke Hughes going to.
Oh no, yeah, there's definitely
right. Those are the 2 guys next in line on defense.
And Ball, yeah, Nemec and Hughes definitely, and Ball didn't really play a lot of the regular season, so he can jump in there and pick up a lot of those minutes.
From the other side, Ball was a monster in the playoffs.
He started to learn how to use his body and throw his weight around, which was nice to see.
Mackenzie Blackwood in net.
No chance.
Well, he is a restricted free agent with arbitration rights. You got to think that contract's not going to be
no chance.
Anything.
No.
But
I wouldn't be surprised if he is a throw-in with Bratt. And something else to get Hellebuck.
Yeah, I can see that. Vanacek is you think he's a problem? $3.4 million, you're bringing a Hellebuck. You probably would have to move Vanacek at that point.
I wouldn't mind it. I definitely love the way Schmid played in the playoffs. I feel like, especially give him another off season to develop even more, he's only going to get better. So what if we send him Bratt, Vanacek, and Blackwood? Give him a starter and a backup and a forward.
Well, definitely going to be an interesting offseason for the Devils, who joined the Rangers and Islanders as people who are teams who were defeated in the playoffs.
So wait, just outside of goalie, the best thing about this offside season is they don't have to go out and land that big free agent like they did with Hamilton and like they did with the trade to get Meyer. They could they're just looking for role players at this point.
But you're not scared that it might be too much turnover?
No, especially because we're not talking about, top 6 players.
Yeah, but it's not.
Right.
I get you, but it's not. It's not like they all are going to gel.
I'm
Well,
not. I'm
yeah,
not.
but you
worried about
have
that.
you got your two centers down the middle. You got your one and probably two defensemen, and I'm sure Hughes is going to become that pair with him, Dougie, or a second
Yeah.
pair, and they put them on different things. That's your core. Plus, if you could get a Hellebuck or a really solid goaltender, or even just get picks back for Brad, maybe they just go get back in the first round.
They don't have a first rounder.
They could just restock, because that's not a bad strategy when they have the guys they need locked up, and maybe they can swoop in and get a different goalie. They don't maybe need to go get Hellebuck. I don't know what his contract looks like right now. Has he already got a contract, or is his thing?
He's got
coming
one
up?
more year left. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's gonna want a monster deal, right?
Right. But he's going to be
So-
30, I think, too.
Vesna
be
finalist
30.
this year, though.
Back-to-back
He'll be
years.
30. I don't think you want Hellebuck, man. I don't think that's the trade. I think you want to look for somebody a bit younger.
Well, I think the deal is Hellebuck for a year, and then just make sure that Schmid develops, and then Schmid the year after.
Yeah, but
And now you're saving that
maybe.
money in net. You can spend it elsewhere.
maybe. Goalies are no sure thing, man. It's very few of those guys. Go get a Russian goaltender. You'll be all right then.
Complete the trifecta in the New York area.
Seems to be the way to go. Holy crap.
Go get it.
I've quite honestly, I wanted them to get Georgiev.
He's not Russian. I think you're being
What?
racist like
And he's
that
Bul-
Tony
What?
Tony what's his name?
Bulgarian.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that the same thing?
Not sure.
I know one guy thinks it is.
It's like the size of a postage stamp. It's a nothing commute. You could practically swim there.
Right. And look, you got your coach coming back next year, so everything is looking up and up for the New Jersey Devils.
So I got to be honest with you. Let's talk about this. You are under the Larry Brooks fallacy that this is all going to work out for you, right?
Well, I
And-
think the one thing the Larry Brooks fallacy is going to come up in 2 agenda items. So
All right, so we'll talk about it.
Let's
then.
hold
We'll
off
talk-
on that one.
We'll talk about the Devils coach then.
But look, what the Devils did this year, like you mentioned, they far exceeded at least your expectations, and I think a lot of ours, about what they did this year and what their projections are going to be for the next couple of years. So kudos to the Devils, and the future is certainly bright for them. What happened last night on ESPN, and starting a Game 6 Connor McDavid hockey game at 10 p.m. on Sunday night was, I mean, it almost robbed everybody of watching that game. I fell asleep probably in the first intermission or beginning of the second period. And it's not like they couldn't have moved some things around to get this to an 8 o'clock game. Maybe not on ESPN, maybe not on ABC, but ESPN2, ESPN News, something to that effect. They could have done something.
You can't brag about having 7 different channels on every cable service and then not use them. You can't.
Agreed.
You can't be the worldwide leader in sports and push a deciding game of a second round playoff series for some regular season who cares baseball game.
Right. It was the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are what, second to last place against a last place Red Sox team.
It doesn't even
still-
matter about that part. It's just a
It
regular
doesn't.
season baseball game. Who cares?
Right. It's
It's
a
162
mid-May.
games per fucking team. It's like I don't know what, 500,000 games a regular season. Be like, check my math. That sounds about right?
It's approximately, yeah.
There's maybe 3 rivalry games that you could almost say, yeah, I guess Yankees, Red
Sure.
Sox. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
maybe makes sense. Mets, Yankees, maybe. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. Maybe a Dodgers, somebody, I don't know who their rival is.
Angels.
Maybe,
Is it-
yeah, maybe
is it the
LA
Angels?
versus LA. You know, you could say, sure. I don't even think Cubs, White Sox, you could say bump
I
it.
know.
So it's pathetic. And then to not give up the rights to TNT to say, yeah, you guys can take this one since you could put it on at a reasonable time. It's just poor. It's piss poor.
No, and look, they're not going to gift TNT a friggin' a game 6 game. I get all that, but what was on ESPN2 last night that was precluding you from moving that game?
Ugh.
It was a story about the women's college softball World Series from 8 to 9, and then cornhole from 9 to 10.
That's huge. No, that's
Fucking
huge.
cornhole. I mean, come on. It was just it. Gary Bettman, as much as you want to hate him, he always talked about the partnership with, Versus and NBC and all these television rights companies who helped the NHL get back from their lockouts. And it's 100% right, because those broadcast networks actually partnered with the NHL, didn't just have them as a commodity like we all knew this was going to be.
Yes.
Go back and listen to any of our podcasts prior to ESPN getting the rights. As much as we were excited about it because of the, getting it back on ESPN, we knew that they were going to be a fucking commodity.
That was
for
episode
ESPN.
74, if I remember correctly.
Was it really?
I don't fucking know.
That would be amazing. Well, who
Come
knows?
on.
Maybe you went back and looked.
Come on.
Maybe you keep a
Like
journal
it's
of all
some
these
I give
things.
a
Show
shit
prep.
about.
You went and did some show prep.
Come on.
But bad job, bad fucking job, ESPN. So McDavid's out. The Toronto Maple Leafs are out.
Blow it up, baby. Blow it up.
Listen, we have an Eastern Conference final of Florida, Carolina. Oh, I'm sorry. We have it's abysmal. It's going to be
What
abysmal.
happened? Did you just have a stroke?
You
started a sentence and just stopped.
because I had to, because I can't believe that we have Carolina, Florida as the Eastern Conference final. I don't get it.
I would
Former
agree with you,
underachievers.
except fucking Carolina's good, man.
Yeah,
They're very good.
Yeah, I
They
get
were supposed to be good the last couple of years. They just actually did
they're
it
missing-
this playoff.
Yeah.
They're missing pieces, and they're
Yeah,
playing
three pieces, not just
Yeah.
one or two, three.
deep, very
Yeah.
deep,
But
very
you
deep.
see that
team.
the teams that are gone. I mean, some of the teams that are gone that we expected to run from, like like the Rangers and I don't know. I wasn't personally expecting to run from the Oilers, but the Oilers, the Maple Leafs. I mean, what's up? What's in common here between the teams that are gone and the teams that are still remaining? It's like top heavy teams. You're not going to get far into the playoffs. I mean, it's that balance. It's the balance that does it these days. You got to have the, you got to be able to roll those 3-4 lines. You got to get contributions from everybody. You can't just have some superstars at the top that you think are going to, carry you.
Edmonton is paying $9 million a year for Darnell Nurse, who is a walking pylon. Okay,
He
they're
is abysmal.
paying, and they're paying
They thought they were
two
getting a
guys
sister.
all their yeah, right. They're paying the two guys all the money, especially basically. I mean, Draisaitl and McDavid. I can't see them staying past their contracts when they eventually go, because it's Edmonton, and why the fuck would you stay there when they continuously just do not put the right pieces around them? They went out and spent money on Vander Kane, who, sure, he's good, but why did you get another forward
Right.
who's a scoring forward when you
You're
could have
not-
gotten grit? You could
You
have
could have gotten three. You could have gotten three bangers
Seriously,
that you
could've got-
need, and a defense, and some people on defense.
like talk about not knowing how to build a team, man. You don't need all these guys. You got those two guys. That's it. You don't need anything else. Just get rid of those. Just trade everybody else out, all the forwards. Get a bottom, two bottom, the third and fourth lines that are just fucking, they just go out there and they hit everything, play solid defensively, put a couple of shitty wingers around Draisaitl and McDavid, and they'll still score more than anybody else in the league. And then you save a ton of money you can put on the defense, you can put on the goalie, and fucking have a real team. But like, they just don't do that. They continuously spend absurd amounts of money on just offense, and I don't know, it's crazy.
So not to steal from Billy's team, but that's what Pittsburgh did, right? You got Crosby. Crosby's going to make whoever he plays with better. Right. How many people did he make multi millionaires just by putting them on his line?
Yes. Him and Malkin, and they had Jordan Stahl for a bit when they had the three of them
right
down the middle. I mean, come on, it makes so much sense to do that, and they can't figure it out. There's wasting.
Right. We're in his wingers at the time, Pasquale Dupuis and Benny the Jet Rodriguez. Weren't they his wingers?
Chris Kunitz.
And successful, and they had success.
Yeah,
I agree.
You just need to build a balanced team, man. You can't.
Yeah.
So another team is the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are, they have four guys who make up 60% of their salary cap. And for a couple of those guys, they have no movement clause that kick in July 1st of this year. So I think they got to make a decision, and pretty quick, on what they need to do. And if they shit can their GM and if they shit can their coach, the Penguins are going to be there to swoop those two up. And then Mike Sullivan then becomes available to the Rangers. And that was the crazy triangle that Larry Brooks is trying to talk into.
Of course.
But that is probably the only way that I can possibly see Mike Sullivan leaving Pittsburgh, is that if something like that does happen. For as batshit crazy as that would be, and there's probably a 1 to 2% chance that could happen.
Well, look, I mean, it's such a crazy theory.
Because there's so many dominoes that need to fall.
I even mentioned, though, when Hextall mutually parted ways with the Penguins, that that their Sullivan's job was kind of in the balance, only in the scenario that the Penguins want to go hire a GM who then has his guy, or maybe doesn't have a good relationship with Sullivan, and has a guy that he really wants to put in as head coach. But that's exactly the scenario I said. But why would the fucking Penguins want to recreate what the hell is going on in Toronto? What would be the motivation to take not only the GM but the head coach and say, oh, Toronto did so well for so many years, let's see them replicate that success here? That's not batshit.
It's not like you're bringing the players down with you too. It's
but I think there's a lot less pressure in Pittsburgh than there is Toronto too, Bill.
And matter. They just weren't true. They didn't do a good job.
Well, listen, this was the first year that Dubas actually went all in and made trade after trade and got big ticket name after big ticket name to come in. That ultimately did not work. I don't know if he would do something like that in Pittsburgh, where he's not under that much pressure to do it.
Yeah, you said that first year he did that, but I mean, I don't know how you could do it any other year again. I mean, they traded everything away.
Yeah, they were
all in, and everybody's in the UFA. All their forwards, all UFAs this year. They have all UFAs defense. I mean, the good news is for them, they can fill in the blanks throughout the entire team. But the other problem is you have to do that with Austin Matthews, with 1 more year of him for 11 mil, Tavares 2 more years, 11 mil each, Marner 2 years, basically 11 mil, Nylander 7 mil, 1 more year. They're all UFAs though. They're all gonna walk. Or I mean, they could say they all said that on their exit thing. I don't know if you guys read this, but they're all said the same thing. They're like, we love playing here, want to continue staying here, blah blah. Everybody's gonna say that in their exit interviews. But next year they're gonna have Matthews and Nylander, both UFAs. They could potentially just walk, or Toronto may have to trade them. Hopefully, Austin Matthews tells them not to trade him and then just walks and then tells them to go fuck themselves. Just like Tavares did to Dials. That'd be great, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Of the four, which like you can't trade Tavares, right? He's got the no movement clause already, right?
Yeah.
So that's 3. Of the 3, who do you move?
Well, they're saying Marner is the one, but I don't know.
Marner's got-
Your haul for Matthews would be astronomical.
Agree.
It's only a year.
Lindrosian.
And think about this, and I read this on the Twitterverse, that if he were to be traded to the Chicago Blackhawks,
Oh God.
and play with the incumbent number 1,
Yeah.
maybe they're starting something in Chicago.
It would be a jump start to whatever it is, that's for sure.
Correct. They would definitely be jump starting the rebuild. But think of the assets that could come back to Toronto from Chicago.
But would
Wow.
he re-sign in Chicago knowing that they're so far in the early stages of a rebuild?
It depends on that first year with Bedard. And if they make magic together in that first year, maybe. I just thought it was very interesting that came up. That's all. I can't, and as much as we joked about it last week, and I really hope it was a joke from you guys, I don't see him going to Arizona. I just can't. I mean, that's another team that has the assets to get it done, but I can't see him going there. I can't do
There's
it.
there's only so much I
Yes.
want to play in front of my family that you can joke
Right.
about.
Exactly. He wants to play
he's-
for his family, in front of his family so bad that he'll go to Anaheim. He'll be fine.
He's
Right.
He's got. Listen, it doesn't matter what you're talking about here. He's a UFA at 27-ish. He'll be 26 next year. He'll be an incoming UFA.
Yeah, he's gonna get the kitchen
He'll
sink
go-
thrown at him.
He'll
Yeah,
go.
I
He'll go
agree.
wherever he wants to go. It doesn't matter. He'll just go. Listen, and then if he wants the maximum amount of money, someone will pay him it. It doesn't. These teams will have it. If he wants to play at home, he'll play home. I mean, if you play in front of his home, in his home, if he really wants to be in Arizona, he'll do that. I mean,
I know where
he's.
he's not going to be playing his home games in New Jersey.
Or an MSG.
We don't
for sure.
we don't want him.
No, he's not going to play anybody. I mean, I
Oh,
hope
get the
to God he
fuck out of
stays
here. We don't want him.
Metro.
Bullshit.
We don't want him.
Get
Nope.
the fuck out of here. If he came crawling to you
That's
guys,
why
you
we're not even
would
going to
give up-
try.
you
We
would
don't
give up
want him.
everybody for him. Get the fuck out of here. Don't give me that bullshit.
I mean, I take.
Oh, we haven't had one of those in a while.
Can't pay him. Though.
So,
I know.
so
Bill,
hold
would you
on, we
want
were
him? Bill,
talking.
Penguins don't want him, right? You don't want him as a Penguin. You don't want him.
What are you fucking talking about?
Austin
Of course they
Matthews.
fucking want
God,
him.
Jesus.
We were talking about coaches, and I wanted to talk about Ruff and Brunette.
Well, you're talking about Brunette, the next Ranger coach.
You know what? I'm kind of coming around on the fact that you can fucking have him if you want him, because he was brought in here to make the power play better, and he didn't do that. And he was brought in here to make the defensive, the forwards play a little bit more responsible defensively, and he didn't do that either. So, maybe there is no shine on him like we all thought there was. Maybe he's not the next great coach like we all thought he was going to be.
My top two are Brunette and Chuck Knobloch. I think they're just waiting for Hartford to lose to Hershey in this round of the Calder Cup playoffs, so they can announce Knobloch being the head coach of the next head coach of the Rangers.
Okay.
That would be the safe move. He's been groomed for this. He's been next in line for quite some time. But he's also got to understand that if you take this fucking job, we need to win the cup.
You got
And that's
3
it.
years. You get 3 years.
You got to win the cup.
You get 3 years.
Because that's what the pressure is on this next coach to come in and coach this team. He needs to win the cup. And is Chuck Knobloch the guy that can do it? Sure.
We're
hope
going to
so.
find out. According to Elliot Friedman, the working goal in quotes is what he said, is that Ruff is going to be back. So
Yeah,
Burnett's
after a season like this, Steve, how can
Well,
you expect him
no,
not to?
again,
Unless he
there's-
retires, I want to go out on top or some bullshit.
because it's like the Yankee scenario, right? Buck Showalter took the Yankees to a certain point, and he wasn't going to get them over the hump, and they brought Torrey in, right? Maybe that's the kind of coach that Lindy Ruff is. He's good for young guys to develop and learn, and he can get you to a point, but he can't get you over the hump.
Yeah, but then you have to explain Aaron Boone to me.
He's cheap. He
my-
lines to the
He's a
front
fucking
office.
puppet. That's what he
He's
is.
a
He
yes man.
listens
Yep,
to the
that's
front
it.
office, and he did what didn't he? You know, won
he
in his
didn't.
career.
And George Steinbrenner's dead.
Oh my god! Right. If Steinbrenner wasn't dead, he would have choked Aaron Boone out of New York.
Oh, Cashman and Boone will be so long gone. But this is not a baseball podcast.
Thank God.
No,
Thank
no,
God.
we're doing
it certainly is not. But look, we don't have a lot of time for the playoffs end in what 4 or 5 weeks, and then we got the draft right after that, free agent frenzy right after that, and then we're into the dog days of summer. So if any teams are going to be on the move, especially for that GM search, especially for a head coaching search, which I don't think is as important for the draft as a GM spot is, but those teams looking for GMs, they got to move quick if they want their teams ready and prepared for the end of June for that NHL draft.
Chicago doesn't. They don't need to
No,
figure out.
no.
No,
They know
certainly
what
not.
they're fucking doing.
Yeah, they're ready to rock and roll.
They might
About
trade
the
it
only
away.
team. They're about the only team. Well, and the Ducks too. The Ducks are probably they're probably really fucking happy.
That kid's fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah. So, listen, it's going to be a really, really fun next couple of weeks before we start our hiatus.
Oh, sad. I don't want to think about that.
Really?
Of
Like,
course I do. I
hockey
hate
for me has
fucking
been
doing
dead
this every
for
Monday night.
3 weeks now. Fuck that shit.
3 weeks.
Well,
Count the seconds.
We could go back and do all of our top fives like we were doing last year.
Oh my god.
No,
Figure
no,
that
those,
through the
those are
summer.
coming back. Those are coming
Oh,
back in a
no.
couple of weeks. I promise you that.
Oh god.
Yay!
Working on some bangers for Steve.
Great.
Oh, nice.
And now it's time for trivia with Bill. Yuck.
Now this is the wrong bell.
Today's question: who is the only NHL player that was suspended for life?
Pete Rose.
Suspended. No, NHL player. NHL player.
Oh, did you specify?
Shoeless
Did you
Joe
specify?
Jackson.
I had actually mentioned maybe a minute or so ago that this isn't a baseball podcast. So no on the Pete Rose, no on the Shoeless Joe. No, this is an NHL player who was suspended for life.
Happy Gilmore.
Hmm.
He didn't play in the NHL. Was not an
Nick
NHL
Billberry.
player.
He tried to cut somebody with one of his skates. You know that, right?
Nick, that's just a wish, Nick. That's just a wish.
Gosh, damn it.
Mike Milbury would be a wish.
Oh, it was not Mike. That was not a bad guess, but not
Joel
Mike.
Quenneville.
No, he was a coach when he was. No, it was not Joe Quenneville.
Pierre
Oh,
McGuire.
No, not Pierre McGuire.
Oh, another
Poor
wish
Pierre.
list item.
Kyle Beach. Too soon.
Ooh, too soon.
Too soon, Nick. Nick, too
too
soon.
soon.
Cow. Jesus.
My
I never
God.
would have
Ooh.
expected that from Nick.
Oh my God.
Holy cow.
Danny Heatley.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Wow.
it's not too soon, but it's still sort of not in good taste.
Ilya Kovalchuk.
Oh,
No, not Ilya. Even though he signed that filthy, dirty contract,
it was not. It was legal.
so illegal.
Vladimir
Yeah, but-
Konstantinov.
Tom.
Ouch. We're not going for player. Oh boy, this is
Wow.
no, it was not. It was not Konstantinov.
Brittany Cecil.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
jeez. Maybe we
That's
should
been
do
Knutson.
the
Oh
choice.
god. Uh, oh lord.
How
This
about
wrong of us.
Billy's favorite goalie, John Van Beesbrook?
He had every vowel in his last name. The only player in history to have every vowel in his last name. But no, that was not John Van
Pat
Beesbrook.
Burns.
Pat Burns. Poor guy.
Really?
Oh jeez. No, not Pat Burns. No, and I don't know if maybe I got to mention again. We're not like asking who died tragically or was involved in tragic deaths, because that seems like to be the answers that we're getting.
No.
Wait, these people
this was
weren't
just a player that
suspended
was
for life
suspended.
because of this?
No, suspended for
My
life for like an
word.
on-ice incident.
James Patrick.
No. Everybody loves James Patrick.
Claude Lemieux.
Oh,
He
probably,
had to
no.
be, right?
probably
He
getting
had to be.
closer to the truth.
He's yeah. Oof. They should have looked at that Chris Draper thing again and made that call, but no. Not Claude Lemieux.
Jerry Sandusky.
Oh, definitely is going to spend life behind bars, but yeah, he was a football coach.
Todd
Hmm.
Bertuzzi.
No, not Todd
Tyler
Bertuzzi.
Bertuzzi.
Oh,
None of the
he still
Bertuzzi family.
plays.
All the little Bertuzzis.
So I could go to the multiple choice.
No, not yet. We're not
Pete-
there yet.
Pete Worrell.
Hmm.
I don't know who that is, but no,
Donald Brashear.
no, not the Bashir man. Not even Marty McSorley. Who, yeah.
Can we
Bobby
get an
Crooker.
era? Can we get an era of play?
Oh gosh, I'll need a moment to figure out maybe what decade this was.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
boy.
So this is
This
we're,
is
we're
not a-
talking probably
This is old
70s,
It's
motherfucker.
not a household
Yeah.
name.
40s through
Uh,
60s.
Gump Worsley.
Do. If I could.
Bill
Um,
Housley.
Google.
1930s.
Dan Fischler.
Another wish list item, Steve.
Yeah, let's try.
Yeah, playing career. Yeah, 1930s. 1930s.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Was he
Lester
banished
Patrick.
because he drank alcohol during Prohibition?
That's no, he wasn't. No, it
Oh,
was
okay.
something else.
Boston Strangler.
The Scranton Strangler.
No,
Toby.
when I heard of the
Toby
incident,
Flenderson.
when I heard of the incident that he was suspended for, it made me definitely think of our friend EA. But
Oh, he
no, it wasn't.
fucking killed somebody on the ice. then.
Check
That's-
somebody into a brick
had to
wall.
had to be killed somebody on the ice.
he didn't actually kill anybody on the ice.
I will go multiple
Multiple-
guess.
All right, multiple choice. A, Billy Cotu. B, Rafi Torres. C, Eddie Shore. D, Ted Green.
Rafi Torres, definitely.
Ted Bundy, of course.
He's
Yeah,
was-
whoever the last.
it was not-
I'll go with that last guy.
it was not last guy, and it was not Rafi Torres.
Well, it's not
Eddie
the
Shore.
not second. It's not Eddie Shore.
Not Eddie Shore.
Okay,
Yeah.
then the weird
Who's
name
gotta
guy.
be?
Billy Cotu. Yes, it was Billy Cotu. Weird name guy. That was the
And-
guy.
Wow.
What was the incident, please?
He physically attacked a referee during a game.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Did
all
he call
did.
him fat and tell him to go eat another donut?
I don't know what it was actually said, but interestingly, Coach's wife Gertrude was the sister of Wilhelmina Aird Stewart, the mother of Mary Morenz, who was the wife of Hall of Famer Howie Morenz, and grandmother to the daughter Marlene Jeffreyon, wife of Boom Boom Jeffreyon,
Boom
hockey
boom.
royalty.
Boom boom. Nice.
Why did you find that interesting enough to point out?
That
That was just a bunch of people's mothers. That's all you were just talking about.
but they were related to some hockey like Hall of Famers. Like they were like.
Do you
Lorenz's
guys want
chick and
bonus trivia?
hell yeah?
Please.
It's
gotta be better than- It's got to be better than the actual trivia. So let's
there
go.
are two players
Anders.
in the NHL
Current?
that lead two different NHL franchises in playoff goals. They are the playoff goal leader for two different franchises. Give me the two NHL players.
I mean,
All time is this or are these current?
This is active.
okay.
Active
players.
players.
Active.
Leading their teams.
Active
Team-
playoff goal leaders by franchise. There
Player
are
in
two
the-
players that lead two different franchises.
Joe Pavelski.
That's a good guess.
Joe Pavelski is tied for the lead in the San Jose Sharks with 48, and he does lead the Dallas Stars with 23.
So that's
Steve.
Joe
one.
Pavelski
Good job,
is
Steve.
one of two.
Thank you.
Nice. All right.
I'll leave it up to you guys to get the other one, the harder one.
Okay. Shoot.
Thanks,
I thought
buddy.
Pavelski was going to be the harder one.
Let's see. Connor
really?
McDavid played for one team.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you know what? We'll talk about that at the end.
Okay.
Bo Horvat, Islanders and Canucks.
Bo Horvat does lead the Vancouver Canucks actively in playoff goals with 11. However, he does not.
He's
lead
slightly off the
Iceland.
lead on the island.
a little bit
Just
off
missed.
Is
Just
it one of
missed.
the expansion teams by chance?
Negative.
Okay.
Brock Nelson is actually the active Islander leader with 25.
active leader. We just went through all this, didn't we? Goal scorers.
Oh no, we did games played, Nick. Games
Yeah.
played.
Oh yeah. I'm like, it should be similar. Fuck.
Probably not.
Johnny Hockey, Calgary and Columbus.
Johnny Gaudreau is not even on the list.
He doesn't have any playoff goals for Columbus.
You gotta
Woohoo.
play in the playoffs when you're with
Yep.
the team in order to get a goal.
Yeah,
But we know you wanted to be closer to home, stupid.
you gotta
Yeah,
be
good
this
job with
high, this high to play playoff hockey. He's
Oh man.
clearly this low.
We're so glad you wanted to be
Not gonna
closer to
work.
home to play by your family, and yet you're an entire state and a half away.
Poor little guy.
Little guy.
Uh,
Yeah, little guy.
Zach Parisi, the two of the teams that he played for. Maybe the Devils
just-
and the Stars.
Zach Parisi leads the
Minnesota.
New Jersey Devils with 21, as well as the
Bill.
Minnesota
Ah.
Wild with 6.
Oh,
It was
There
a
you
tricky one.
go.
Good
That's
job.
a
Bill.
good
right.
one.
That was it. That was the hard. That
Teams
was
anymore.
definitely the harder one to
That
get.
was
Yeah,
harder.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you forget he scored a lot of goals.
yeah. Well, you forget that they actually made the playoffs for a period of time.
Yeah.
What were you going to add in there?
No, that you because he doesn't play for either of those
Oh, yeah,
franchises
yeah.
right now. He probably is the harder of the two for sure. All right, give me top 5.
No. We got top 2. We're
No,
done.
no, we have plenty of time.
We're
Give
done.
me top 5.
No, we're good. Let's move on.
Give me top 5.
Top 5 what?
Top 5 active playoff goal leaders by franchise.
You mean continue this list? You want 3, 4, and 5?
No, I want 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, just in general.
Ovechkin?
Yeah. Oh.
Ovechkin with the
Ovechkin's
Capitals.
number 2.
Crosby.
Crosby's number 1. Really?
McDavid with the
No.
Oilers.
Draisaitl.
With the Oilers.
No.
Really?
Really?
Uh,
Draisaitl's at
Pasternak.
31. He's like number
Pasternak.
10. Pasternak, no. He's not the Bruins franchise leader actively right now. No.
Bergeron.
Bergeron is not the active playoff goal leader.
Marchand.
Marchand is number 3.
Okay.
Dick.
Uh,
What about what's that fucking guy's name?
Mika Zibanejad.
No. Actually, Chris Kreider is the Rangers active leader. And no, it's
Taves?
not. Huh?
Ow, fucker. Taves?
No, not Taves. He is not the Blackhawks leader.
He's a defenseman on Colorado, Nick. I don't think he's going to lead
Kane?
the team. Oh,
Patrick Kane is number 5 with 52.
but he's not on. He's not at. Oh, well, he's active. I guess. I see what you're saying here.
What's the guy's name? It's fucking Jesus Christ. Guy in Philadelphia that got traded, went to Ottawa.
Giroux.
Giroux. Thank you.
No, Giroux is way down the list. 25 playoff goals for Claude Giroux with the fuck the Flyers.
Fuck them.
Fuck the Flyers. So can we say Pavelski again in this category?
It's Pavelski is 6th.
Oh wow.
48.
Okay. Kopitar?
Panarin?
Nope.
Malkin.
Nope.
He
Crosby
would
is
be
the
on-
Penguins
Yeah,
leader,
yeah,
Bill.
Crosby
You said him
too.
already.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Think of another team has been in the fucking playoffs a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
The Blues, maybe?
Like a fucking shit ton. Especially the past 4 years.
Stamkos.
Oh yeah.
Not Stamkos.
Kucherov.
Kucherov.
There you go.
Out of sight, out of mind. You get shit. You do shit in the first round. We forget about you.
That's right.
Sorry, pal.
Tyler Meyer, by the way, is last on this list with
Oh God.
2 goals.
Oh God.
2 goals.
That's a lot of trivia.
It was fun. It was a lot.
doing-
I'm getting prepared for our top 5 lists.
Are we doing good impressions or bad impressions this week?
What are you talking about?
I just want to make sure we're doing trivia impressions.
What are you talking about? Just introduced it.
No, because I just drop it in if it's good impressions. If it's bad impressions, I got to do the intro.
Well, now you always say.
No, I don't.
Well,
I just drop it
impressions
in.
with Nick.
I don't want to even do it now.
Now you just say
I
you always
don't
say,
wanna-
and now it's time for impressions with Nick, and he says, "Fucking great."
Fucking great.
You know that thing. Well, anyway, our hotline is ringing,
No.
and we got to bring in our
No,
special guest
fuck.
for this evening. Randy Travis the
Why?
Turd, are you with
Why?
us, sir?
No.
Randy!
Why? Of
Y'all hear me?
all week.
Y'all there?
Yeah, Randy. Yeah, Randy.
Ow!
Sorry, my dog's barking.
Mhm.
Does that mean your feet hurt?
Mhm.
No, Ron didn't feed her. I'm gonna
Take your
shoot her in a
penis
few
out of the
minutes.
dog, then, Randy, and then it won't be barking.
Steven, this isn't West Virginia. I don't know what you.
No, it's
kinda-
it's basically the same fucking thing. What are you talking about? It's North Carolina. It's the same thing.
Steven, your soul is as black as the devil. Unfortunately for you, the Devils didn't make it in the second round. But the Carolina Hurricanes did
Oh,
it.
God, it's fucking fly-by-night Carolina Hurricane fan. Great.
Oh, man.
Doesn't pay attention until the fucking playoffs start. Seriously, when was the last time we heard from this joker?
Like
week.
2 weeks ago.
No, before the playoffs started.
He had a lot going on this year.
Yeah, right. He had to plow the fields. I know.
No, he had tons going on.
Mhm.
Steven, we had a lot of cornhole going on. I don't know if you saw me on ESPN.
ESPN
last
too.
night, but
Yeah, instead of
dude,
hockey.
I was in the crowd.
course you
Watching
were.
cornhole championships. North Carolina represent.
Were you disappointed that it was that kind of cornhole?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Of
there,
course you're not.
Steven.
Of course you're not. Go back to church.
Pray for you
Well,
every
Randy,
day.
congratulations to the Carolina Hurricanes for advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they will play the Florida Panthers. You want to give us a little preview of that series?
Well, it's going to be real interesting. Florida man against Carolina. I'm not sure how this is going to go. We
No, because you
smoked
don't know
the
anything
Devils.
about hockey. How would you know how it's going to go? That's a good point.
Steve, it's my turn to talk now.
Okay. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
It's my monologue now. I mean, I heard your
Randy, you want me
monologue.
to
It
mute
was
him for you?
very
I mean,
long.
I can mute him. You want me to mute him?
No, that wouldn't be fair now, Thomas. Let's let Steven speak as well. This is a free country. He can say whatever he wants, right, Steven?
You're goddamn right.
Thank you, Thomas. I
listen,
appreciate it.
my
He's
hand,
muted.
my hand was on my own
What?
button. It wasn't on his.
Oh boy.
Well, I'll be honest. Carolina really smoked Devils just like a pork butt on a Sunday.
That sounds delicious.
Three times
ice cream
in
sundae?
that series. 3 times, not an ice cream sundae. That does sound interesting though. 3 times in the series. One time they beat up the butts off us. I mean, it was a 8-4 loss. It was not a good one. one bad game in the series though, and then one really
He's saying
bad game.
serious. Is he saying serious instead of series, or is it just the accent?
It's serious. I'm serious when I'm talking serious.
This guy, I don't know. How do you have people live with these people?
Well, anywho, we're moving on. Florida, Matthew Tkachuk. He seems like a pretty stand-up player. I like his game. Hits everything. Plays the game the right way, and he's leading his team to right in the front of the Hurricane, right in the eye. And I think it's going to be a tight series, 7 games, but I think Carolina's going to pull it out.
Listen, Florida is known for having hurricanes for sure. So they will be prepared for hurricanes. They
not
board up the
a-
windows. They got the hurricane protection down here for
It's
sure.
not a real hurricane.
I gotta say,
team.
Thomas, that it
Yeah,
does
they're
scare
gonna
me
be
a
in an
little bit.
arena.
But we'll see. We'll see, Billy. I'm not sure what that arena looks
Okay.
like. All those Florida men in the swamp. I don't know. Could be real dangerous for our
Great.
boys.
Thanks
over
for
there.
joining us, Randy. It was great to talk to you again. See you
It
later,
is
bud.
not very far from the swamp in the Everglades. For
Bye,
sure.
Randy.
Well,
Thanks.
it was nice talking to y'all. I
Was
can't
it?
wait for this
Not
next
for
this
me.
next round. It's gonna be
Oh.
fun to
Randy,
watch.
we will have you on
No.
toward the end of the
Nope.
next series,
Nope.
and
Nope.
Oh,
listen,
absolutely.
it's
Nope.
always a treat
No.
for us, and we
No.
can't wait to talk to you again, Randy. You have
Yes,
a good
Really,
night, sir,
anytime.
and God
Bye.
Have a
bless.
great night. God
Love
bless.
you, Randy.
Dick.
Great seeing you.
Oh, and now Nick's back. Nick, you missed him
Dude.
again.
Hey, Nick.
Oh,
How did
buddy.
you
Randy call in?
always? Where did you go? Did you have to go to the bathroom again?
No,
Yeah.
it's not even his fault. Zoom updated their thing, and we can only have 4 people on at one time. So I had to cut
you-
Nick's off.
You couldn't cut me off. You had to cut Nick off.
No, Nick is definitely the one that we need to cut off.
I don't
Nick-
need to be on the.
Yeah,
I don't need to be
you
on the
guys
Zoom
need
for
to hash
him.
that out. Listen, I'd rather you guys air it all out now and not hold any grudges or hatred toward each other.
Oh no, trust me. There's hatred.
Yeah. You love that guy?
loves
You
him.
realize that if it's Hurricane Stars, it will be North Stars Whalers in the final.
Wow,
Mm.
interesting.
It'd be
Do you
amazing.
realize if it's Panthers and either one of Seattle and Vegas, it's 2 teams that weren't in existence 30 years ago?
All right, let's
Yeah,
go
we
to this
do-
date in Steve's stomach. This one's
It was
brought
just
to
as
you
stupid as your point.
by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
Round here, we're saving calories. Round here, we all look so lean. Round here, we enjoy Coke Zero, but sacrifice flavor, no. Round here, Coke Zero's the way to go.
I think the Panthers were around 30 years ago, actually.
No, they
If I
weren't.
check the math. If I check the math.
2019,
Thought they came into the league in 94.
93.
93. I thought it was 93, 94.
No, 92, 93.
Oh, okay.
Was it? They came in the Bolts year after.
32 years ago. Sorry, Bill.
Please go to May 3rd.
Go fuck yourself, both of you.
What? You get this upset? when
No,
Randy
because you're
comes
gonna
on?
fucking repeat that joke next week, and everybody's gonna fucking laugh at it. But you blew me off this week.
Oh, come on.
Oh, Tom, how do you do it, man? You're so fucking funny.
It is the Tomcast after all.
It is
Fuck
my
off. No, it's
Tomcast.
not.
You
Go
are right about
eat
that.
it, dick.
Cum or cremation.
He's
It's so great. It's so
Gotta be
great.
so
You gotta be
funny.
kidding me.
Oh, Lord.
May 3rd
May 3.
was a Friday. May 3rd.
5-3.
Breakfast
even
was
get
a
it, just whatever it
Belvita
said.
and a can of Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Lunch was a roast beef and American with lettuce and mayo and a 20-ounce can of Coca-Cola Zero.
Where was the sub from? Was it tasty?
It was actually from the Bagel Express, whatever the old My Favorite
Oh.
Muffin was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because I also had 3 mini chocolate chip muffins. And dinner was baked macaroni and a can of Coke Zero. Why did you pick Friday, May 3rd?
Well, that was the day
Obviously.
when a man and a woman from Pensacola, Florida, had been arrested after a witness told deputies she saw them having sex on the beach in the Gulf Islands National Seashore area. Just after 5 p.m. Thursday, deputies were called out to the eastern boundary of Fort Pickens, the area known as Fort Pickens. While walking on the beach, I witnessed a white male and a white female having sex in every possible position, fully nude. A witness said they did not cover up, and it went on for 25 minutes.
And you just stood there and watched?
Well, yeah. I mean, what would you do? I'm sure she's
Taking notes.
But
so offended.
Every possible
no, doggy.
position in
so
25
offended.
minutes.
Highly offended. How did she get her body in that contortion?
Right. How did they bend that way?
I can't believe it's reverse cowgirl now. I'm so disgusted.
I'm highly offended that they just did the dirty Sanchez.
I'm highly offended. Did she just give him the rusty trombone? I mean, every possible position fully nude in 25 minutes. Not happening. I'm sorry.
I mean, if you do 2 pumps and then change, yeah.
Even still, there's a lot of positions. Billy, how many sexual positions are there?
1,614.
See?
Maybe
And how
more
many
than-
is that per minute?
Perhaps more than that. So wait, let's see.
Well, as you do that, deputies found Brian Vasquez and Ashley Dobson lying on the beach asleep. Well, of course, after you've done every single position in 25 minutes, you fall asleep.
25 minutes, 60 seconds in a minute is 1,500 seconds. So they could have done it, 1 second each position.
I don't, yeah, but then you have to change positions. And sometimes those positions are kind of crazy. You need
That
more
make
than
you
a
sleepy,
second
though.
to actually get into that position.
Okay.
So I'm calling Bravo Sierra on this bitch for saying every possible position.
Every possible position in her repertoire.
Yeah, she
Oh.
knows.
Very
There's a
limited.
Wasn't thinking that
missionary?
way, Bill. Wasn't thinking that
And
way.
then that was it.
He only had a blanket covering him, and she had only a bikini top on. Well, they weren't fully
Then they
nude,
weren't
bitch.
fully nude.
They
Fucking
told
prude.
deputies they had too much tequila, and Vasquez said he was sleeping it off. They were both arrested for indecent exposure and released on a $500 bond.
Tom's a creep. Tom is a weirdo. Where does he come up with the shit? It's so disgusting.
That is what happened
$500. That's not that bad.
May 3rd,
Fucking
2019.
panhandle prude.
Listen, we're covering all of the beaches in Florida.
Just
Covering it with something.
being so offended yet watching for 25 minutes, you twat.
Every position. I don't know.
Imaginable. Every position. Wasn't every position imaginable?
Every possible position.
Every possible position.
Ugh. Brian Vasquez, is he white at that point? Because she did say I witnessed a white male.
I was thinking the same thing, but I wasn't going to be racist enough to say it.
Well, no, it's just an observation. It's not racist.
This
It's
is
an
also perhaps
observation.
one of the more
The
mundane.
lady was racist.
This is one of your more mundane stories too. There's no car on fire. There's
Well,
it's
listen,
literally just 2 people having sex on a beach
they were hammered and they fell asleep
only.
and they got woken up.
Boring.
My son bitch.
Womp womp.
And Karen. Was her name Karen?
It doesn't say what her name
It was a joke, Tom. Jesus Christ.
Sadly. It probably was.
You guys see the hit? You saw the hit last night?
The
Guy
what?
got boarded last night and fucking broke his neck. And he came
What?
back and played the 3rd period.
No, I fell asleep.
Broken neck.
Yeah.
because the game was on so fucking late.
Which team? Edmonton?
Eberle threw the hit.
Oh, I saw a hit. I did see the hit. I forgot. That was 2 nights ago. That wasn't.
2 nights ago. Yes.
Yeah. That was not a good hit.
Watch out for the New York Yankees.
Did they finally win tonight?
Yeah, they beat Toronto. They never went up there.
Yeah, they almost blew it.
Well, shocking.
Yeah.
1-0 Stars midway through the third period.
Ugh. Seattle's playing hard here. They're not giving up.
For such a shitty year that they had last year,
It's incredible.
it's
can't believe.
it's unreal.
They committed hard, man. Oh.
Oh wait,
They-
before I forget,
Too late.
congratulations
To the New
Keith
Jersey Devils?
Jones and Daniel Briere
Oh God.
in
Because they won the
Flyers
wheelchair pushing
organization
contest.
another fucking decade. Congratulations, boys.
Another brain trust in Philadelphia.
Ugh.
But don't worry, because I'm sure Larry Brooks has some scenario in his mind where Sullivan winds up there too.
He's gonna be the assistant GM. No.
Assistant to the GM. You fucked it up.
The GM.
You fucked it up. You stink. Okay, now we're just watching hockey together.
Icing.
Not yet.
I love icing.
Of course he
God,
does.
I'm starving.
Dig buttercream.
Of course he does.
Oh, hell yeah.
Delicious, right?
Jesus.
What are you doing with your free time, Bill? You just...
I can become a baker.
Okay.
Well,
He's
he
traveling
doesn't
around
have
Jersey.
profits.
He doesn't have free time yet.
That's true.
When is your last day?
July 28th.
Oh, geez.
They gave me a lot of notice, fuckers.
Yeah,
Are you
seriously.
fucking kidding me?
Like,
Icing.
I wanted to go right then.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to. But now you gotta deal with it because you're getting all the severance. I
July?
guess, so.
What? You're kidding.
July 28th.
Yeah.
They want me to train everybody for all the shit that I do. It's like
His position is expendable, but you've got to teach people to do it because it's not expendable.
it's going to like 15 people.
So
It's
if you
fucking
left
ridiculous.
if you left now and said, go fuck yourself, they wouldn't give you your
Oh no.
Correct. Correct. That would be me leaving on my own.
on your own accord.
Yeah.
Can you here's what I want you to do. Just leave one little detail out with every person you train.
Yeah.
Just one little thing.
When they call you back, you say, "Listen, I can come on, but double my
Yeah.
fee."
I want to. You got to
Hourly.
bring me on as a consultant.
Yep.
Yeah. You also got to bring me on after my severance period runs out. So
Or here's what you should do, right? Because it deals a lot with pricing. So I want you to take all the random little pennies that get dropped off.
round them up, put them in a
Put them in a separate account. Yeah.
So it's even less than like taking
Uh-oh.
change from the
Yeah, from
counter at the 7-Eleven.
Right.
You're doing them a favor.
You mean for the kids?
No, not for the kids. For the give a penny, take a penny.
Oh, no, not the jar.
It's the tray. The tray.
Not the
for
jar,
everybody.
the tray. Yeah.
Go to bed.
Just-
What is your problem? You went out. No.
All right, can we wrap it up and then we could do all this after?
Oh
the-
yeah. We didn't wrap
No.
this up. Oh Jesus Christ! All right, that's gonna do it for us tonight. Don't forget to follow us on the Twitter at friends_rivals, Facebook, YouTube, Friends and Rivals Podcast. While you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. We will read them on the air if you want us to. Turn on notifications for the Friends and Rivals Podcast so you never miss an episode. Billy, say something, Woody.
I've been on a slump with this, so I'm going to knock it out of the park tonight. You ready? You guys ready for this? Cum or cremation?
Are you kidding me?
It's a Ghana.
Totally redeemed yourself.
Oh, yeah.
home run. Billy Boucher.
I called it.
It's a
That was
power
fucking
play.
brilliant. Did you come up with that? You just come up with that? That was brilliant. That was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit, that's so funny.
It's like 4 weeks in a row.
Oh,